I feel like for a lot of you, there's like a new love interest or a new partner that is in your life. So this is somebody brand new. And I feel like this person is invoking a lot of positive feelings within you. They're also like very, I feel like they're very down to earth, very practical. They're very polite and refined. I'm seeing them with like, very, if it's a woman, I feel like somebody who's very sophisticated looking. Okay, she dresses well. She has her hair done. She looks really very refined. If it's a male figure, I feel like it might be somebody. If you're, regardless of what gender you are, if you're dating a woman, she seems very sophisticated. If you're dating a man, then I feel like it's somebody who is adventurous, outdoorsy, possibly somebody who travels quite a bit for a living too. So as a result, sorry about that. I'm going to wait for that siren to pass. As a result, they seem to me to be very worldly. So there is constant communication coming back and forth between you and this person. And I feel like they're making you feel quite good. They're making you feel like really happy and just like they're making you feel very happy about your life, your station, and hopeful about the future. I feel like you were dealing with some deep issues of like self-worth in the past, and you were kind of like down in the dumps, and this person is bringing much needed positive energy into your life. Okay, so going back to this partner, I feel like it is somebody that is very good for you. I do feel honesty and integrity and effort. So it's kind of like, don't rest on your laurels. This person wants somebody who is like a good match for them. So you have to continue to put in the effort to maintain the relationship, or at least to be able to keep their interest. Okay. I feel like with every relationship, it does require hard work and dedication anyways. So you might want to, make sure you are above board in all you're dealing. Don't take this person for granted. They seem to me like they might be a very strong kindred soul for you, and they will be with you for quite some time if you manage to do everything by the book and to court them and to keep them in your life and to devote your time to the relationship. I feel like they're very instrumental in your life. Okay. So it's funny, the Ten of Pentacles has come out for so many signs. There's a lot of family issues coming through, as well as financial situations coming through. So let me see your spiritual advice. So I feel like a lot of good communication coming through between you and another person. I want you to know that if you are in a threesome type of a relationship. So, if you're like the person with like two girlfriends, or if you're the person with two boyfriends, be very careful about not getting caught, because I feel like messages relaying back and forth and somebody else might intercept the message. So that can be, finding emails, stray emails, for example. So just make sure you're not in that position. I feel like if you're the one kind of like with two people, you might be caught. If you're the one seeing the married person or seeing somebody that you're not supposed to, they might get caught. The person that is in the middle is the one that is getting caught, okay? So let's go into this spread here. So first of all, we have some legal issues regarding some drinking issue. So it's pretty clear here with the Justice card and the Five of Cups, okay? The Justice card indicates some type of legal action taken in a situation. And the Five of Cups usually, to me, indicates somebody dealing with, drinking issues, okay? It's not so much addiction, that's more of the Devil card, but this indicates to me like a penchant for alcoholism, or even somebody who can't hold their liquor. When they drink, they behave a certain way, and they're inappropriate. They could be belligerent, or it's just somebody who can't function right when they're around alcohol, or they just overdrink. So there is some legal ramifications coming through as a result of drinking. That's pretty much straightforward. What I'm also sensing here is, for those of you who have recently left one like you're dealing with either financial issues, like financial troubles, or you are in a position where you are leaving a relationship, like either through a divorce or through whatever situation. I do feel there is going to be like a bittersweet conclusion to that story. You might have like started at the beginning of it thinking, okay, I'm done with this relationship, we're getting a divorce. And I do feel deep down when it concludes, there's going to be some regrets here, okay? Sadness and regrets, and it's perfectly normal. But either way, I feel that this is a divine intervention type of a justice being met type of situation. There's no going back to it. The decision is pretty much final. And this, this is once again actions and consequences. Whatever we do, whatever energies we send out to the universe, it will be returned to us. So if we are on the right side of justice, we will be awarded. If we're on the wrong side of it, we will reap the ramifications. And I feel like that's what's happening here. It is a bittersweet type of a victory in, I feel like, from your perspective. But more than anything, I feel some ramifications as a result of somebody drinking, over drinking, okay? Or not being able to behave themselves accordingly. Like if they're out driving, I feel like there might be speeding violations. If you are drinking and driving and you're only getting a speeding violation, that's a good day. So, just be very mindful about drinking, driving, okay? Drinking, operating heavy machinery, or drinking and driving. So I do feel like you're dealing with the residual energy of this. And this might also have been something that came in April as well. Um, So if you have been dealing with that situation from the past, I feel that you want to overcome it and let it go. I mean, take care of it. If you're dealing with like legal fees, court cases, and all of those things, I know it sucks, but take care of it, learn from it, and move on. Don't let it dictate, like a lot of the times when people get DUIs, for example, I know it sucks, okay? I mean, your movement is restricted, and there are a host of other issues. There are employment issues as well that will creep into the picture. Don't let that define you. Learn from it, move on, and don't ever do it again, okay? So the worst thing that could happen, I feel like, is, hurting yourself, hurting another person, but more so than anything, hurting another person as a result of negligent driving. If that has happened, you need to like just mourn the situation and don't put too much like I don't even know how to express this, because I feel like it's such a delicate issue. But I feel like the important thing is, what have you learned from this? As with everything in life, sometimes, the legal justice system has to intervene in order to stop us from heading down the wrong track or hurting ourselves or getting ourselves in a very irrevocable situation. So if you have just been, speeding and you get a ticket, it's to tell you to slow down. If you have been drinking and you get like a DUI, it's to tell you not to drink and drive, so that it can prevent you from hurting yourself or hurting other people down the line, okay? There is a reason for everything in life. I do believe that, things happen for a reason. So you're being slowed down for a reason. So what I'm feeling here is, a lot of you are coming into a new phase in your life where you are feeling optimistic. You're feeling very, very hopeful about the future. If you are defending a court case, for example, you are going to get a victory, but it's going to come through much struggle in order to achieve this, okay? Whatever victory that you're hoping for, I do feel that it requires a lot of diligence on your end. It requires a lot of information gathering, possibly even financial payout from your end, not in an illegal way, but more like, court fees and all of these things. But either way, you are going to set out on a new lease in life and in love, and you're going to have a very, very successful time, all right? So don't worry about it, okay? You will have success further on down the line. What I'm sensing as well is, for a lot of you who might have gone through a divorce situation, I do feel like it seems like a huge burden lifted off your shoulders. And it looks to me to be very good. In terms of your soul connection and, love situation, what I'm feeling here is, For a lot of you, there is a very strong twin flame soulmate connection coming through from another person. We have here the Two of Wands and the King of Pentacles. For a lot of you, you might be involved with an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and this is like that soul connection that is allowing you to have faith in love and life and people once again. So this can be their sun, their moon, or their rising. This is somebody I feel you have recently met within the past 2 weeks, 2 months, but I feel like they just came into the picture. The way that they came in seemed very coincidental and very, very almost like serendipitous, okay? It's like you were just going along, minding your own business. Yes, you want love, but you weren't really looking for it. And, you were trying to do you. You were trying to implement some type of long-term plan for the next phase of your life. And in they come, and, they look really, I feel like for a lot of you, you're dealing with somebody who takes very good care of him or herself, and they seem to me to be very financially stable. Not that you care about that, I don't feel that you do, but they just happen to have the whole package. Like they're financially stable, they're very loving, very caring, very generous with their time and their energy. So I feel like if you are in this situation and this person rings true, you need to do whatever you need to do to keep them in your life, because I feel like they give a lot of themselves, but they are also very critical and they expect a lot in return. Um, Not that they're, calculating, but I do feel that it's a really, really strong soul connection. And when a very strong soul connection descends into like a bad relationship, it can be very bad. So you want to make sure this person stays around. You want to commit yourself. You want to give as much as they give. Okay, so 50-50, meeting each other halfway, going above and beyond to make sure that you keep this person in your life. I feel like they're looking for a relationship. They're looking for something solid. They know what they want, and they're offering their heart on a platter. That sounds gory. So they're offering their feelings on a platter, and I feel like you're kind of like, you're trying to stabilize your own life. Your situation right now might not be as stable as theirs, so you're kind of hesitant. And I feel like, make up your mind what you want to do. But either way, honesty is going to be of the utmost importance, okay? Honesty with the Ace of Swords here. So do that, and I feel like everything will start to fall into place, okay? Honesty above all else in a relationship is very, very pivotal for a strong foundation anyways. So let's talk about your financial situation here. We do have the Hangman with the Ten of Pentacles. Your financial situation, I feel like, is not looking too hot, Leos. I feel like if you are waiting on some type of court situation because your financial situation rests upon that, I don't feel it's going to be concluded until like, the end of this year. And usually it's a pretty long wait. Whereas, like, if you had, like, the Two of Swords, for example, it's waiting on something, but that's a shorter wait. So I feel like because it's a major arcana, it's linked up with the finance card, the generational card, the slow pentacles card. It indicates to me quite a bit of a long wait. Okay, I'm very sorry to say that. But I do sense as well the financial situation, once the wait is over, your financial situation is going to step up, okay? It's going to pick up. I do feel in the meantime, there are a lot of minor, like mini expenditures happening in your life. Separately, there are a lot of little tiny expenses, but all together they add up to quite a big amount. So be very careful and see where you can curb your finances, where you can curb spending and money that's leaving your pocket. So just keep that in mind and try to rein in your expenses, okay? And don't count on future money. I feel like future money is already spent on tiny little expenses. So I do feel financially, what I'm sensing is a lot of you might have encountered somebody who's very, very financially well off, and you're looking up to them. If it's a business partner, I feel like you're looking up to them. If it's like a boss or somebody like that, you really admire them and you're trying to emulate their lifestyle. You're trying to, meet them and pick their brains. That's a great way to go because they can give you some really good insights as to how you can either invest your money. But what I feel is if you are looking into investment opportunities, um, you're looking at like very, very slow, steady growth, okay? So if you're investing into something, I feel like it's not going to be something that pays off immediately right away. So you're looking to like the low risk accounts, which is good. It's steady, but it has potential. So look into that route and don't take big risks, especially for this month and especially um, in your current state, okay? So now in terms of the advice for you, what I'm feeling first of all here, we have the Seven of Swords, and it indicates to me that everything is going to require hard work, due diligence. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut, okay? So the Seven of Swords is the sneaky card. This is the guy who cuts corners. This is the guy that, he's like, he wants like immediate gains and he's like dropping both of these things and he's like sneaking away. So this is somebody who is lives on the fast lane. They want quick rewards and they don't really want to work hard at it. And with the Magician, it's basically telling you that you have the tools at your disposal, but further knowledge would never hurt anybody, okay? So this is like looking, investigating to a situation, finding out how all the information work together in a complementary way. So you might have like a lot of expertise or skills in, very disparate, very separate areas. So this is a good month for you to realize, ask other people for advice, but also pick their brain, find out what they did to achieve success, and ask multiple people so that you can identify some pattern so that you can, work at it. But I feel like it's a month in which you are incorporating all of the energies, all of your skills in order to um, perfect your skills or in order to upgrade your skills. So this is a card about greatly research, returning back to school if that is something that you're interested in. I do feel going back to school, doing things the traditional way and taking the long route rather than the shortcut is going to be very, very, very good for you, okay? At the same time, if you are looking for, if for any reason you are caught in a situation where you have to battle something in court and you're looking for a lawyer, this is a good month for you to be able to find somebody. I feel like somebody is coming through to offer you their services. So I feel like if you, obviously consult legal advice, legal counsel for things related to the law. But what I'm sensing is I feel like there might be some stipulations within the law that can help you get out of a situation. So if you feel like you haven't done something wrong, if you feel like the court is against you and you feel for a fact that you haven't done anything wrong or you feel like this punishment is too severe, I feel that getting a second opinion is going to be good for you, okay? So looking up, doing some research on your own or consulting somebody that you know, getting information, advice from somebody that you know, I feel would be very helpful for you. It's very other oriented this month and it will be in your best interest to do so. For a lot of you as well, you're sailing away from a troublesome situation into smoother water. So I feel like whatever has happened in the past, it was very, very damaging to your self-esteem. It was just very damaging all around. There was a lot of regret. When I see this card, I usually see shame as well. So whatever you were contending with, it really did a number on you, okay? And if it's in the past, let it go. You are in a better place right now. We have total free will, but with actions comes consequences. So just aim to do the right thing in the future, okay? Learn from this and aim to do the right thing in the future. What I'm feeling is overall, you are moving into a better, smoother situation. If you are leaving a job, there's a new job lined up immediately. I feel like there might be some additional training required for you from this job, so the new job. So don't cut corners, okay? And I do feel if it's outside of your geographical location, it looks to me to be very good. So I feel like maybe having a brand new start for you would be very, very would be good for you long term, and it can bring about long term success, financial stability, and also emotional, mental peace of mind as well, okay? So let's see what we have in store for you guys for on the love front. So Leos in love, romance, relationships. Okay, so I pulled extra cards here mainly because I started doing that for every other sign, and then it just made it easier for me. So I know that the layout doesn't make sense, but I'm going to talk about the cards, and I'll go through them. So first of all, um, for those of you who are single, just single looking, I do feel you have a very, very good person coming through for you. They show up as the Ace of Pentacles, which is basically somebody who is very, very solid, okay? This is somebody who is like the entire package. They do want a relationship though, so that's just something you want to keep in mind. If you are not ready for it, if you're not ready for a relationship, you really want to, just not waste their time because they're very, very serious and they seem to me to be very directed as to what they want out of a relationship or whether or not they're very, very clear about who and what they want long term, and they can't really be talked out of, okay? Yeah, talked out of their beliefs, excuse me. So this is something that is basically a gift from the universe. The universe is telling you, Leos, you need a little bit more stability. I'm sorry, it's really thundering here, so I'm sorry for that noise. I'm going to wait for it to clear up. There's been like lightning all day. So anyways, sorry about that. What I feel is in the past, you have been kind of hopping around. You were dating people that were like, they might be superficial. They might have been like a very emotionally heavy experience here with the Eight of Cups, where you might have gotten into a relationship with someone and you stayed and stayed and stayed, and you had to walk away because the relationship was like, it was vanity, it was superficial. That's what I'm feeling. The relationship might not have been stable either because we have a lot of inner conflict, inner strife, people not getting along, for example. So the universe is kind of like, okay, Leos, enough is enough. Stop bouncing around. We are giving you something that is a little bit more stable, that is a little bit more solid, because you need somebody like this. You need somebody who's practical. So I pulled out a clarifier card and it got the Lovers. So this is somebody who is everything that you want and need. They come with a lot of physical, sexual chemistry. They're very attractive. I mentioned that earlier. I feel like they're very attractive. So I feel like they're the whole package, okay? And if you want to keep this person in your life, you really need to, approach this situation for what it is, which is a gift from the universe. A gift because the universe knows better than ourselves what we need. So I feel like don't rest on your laurels. Try to make this situation work, okay? This is the energy that you're bringing to the table, and that's why I bring this up, not to chastise you, but to bring to your attention. So you're the Four of Cups here. You're looking at all your options. You're looking at, your life, the way you want it to go, and you're not seeing this situation. You're not seeing the potential in this, and you really should take a second look, okay? This person has everything that it takes, and I feel like you are kind of like, what is that word where you're focusing on, um, you I don't know, something about rocks and diamonds, knowing the difference between stones or diamonds or rocks and diamond. You're given a diamond and you're not seeing it for the potential that it is, and you're not seeing the value in this person. So I feel like you might not be done playing the field yet. You might be pining over, I don't feel a lot of you are like pining over exes, but there is a slight energy about going after the wrong people and missing out on a really good, very strong soul connection with a very good, solid relationship partner. Okay. Once again, I am sensing that a lot of you, your financial situation is not entirely stable. So you are not even thinking about marriage at this point. And a lot of you might be also thinking, like, I need to get my situation sorted out before I get married. Okay. For those of you in coupled relationships, I feel some marriage situation happening here. We do have the Hierophant with the Four of Wands, and both of these cards indicate to me, traditional marriage and wedding. So this is a relationship to the next level, okay? I feel like if you have been dating for quite some time, this is like moving in together. This is like, getting engaged, getting married, celebrating, your renewal of your vows, something like that. So I feel like things are definitely being taken to the next level between you and a significant other. So for couples, it looks very, very good. And for couples, I feel like if you have been feeling that, romance, passion, excitement, and things like that have been lacking in the relationship, I feel you have some surprises coming, like your partner. I feel like there's something planned by your partner to bring the relationship to the next level, or to move the relationship along, so that it's very unexpected, and it's very, very positive. Okay, so for those of you who are dating, um, I feel like you have a lot of people vying for your attention, a lot of people, and they look to me to be very, very good, but their energy might be a little bit young. So you have some people vying for your attention, competing for your attention. And as a result of it, you're kind of like sitting back, and you feel almost as if none of them really meet your expectations, okay? Or you could be in this situation where you're just like, I only want that one person from the past, where things were like very emotional, and exciting. It might have been filled with a lot of conflict and a lot of incompatibilities, but it seems to me like you're dreaming about this past situation where the person was very, very beautiful, but they might have been lacking in substance, or the relationship itself was very, very lacking in stability, in grounding and stability. Okay, so be very careful about seeing the true value in another person, and seeing how a relationship partner can add value or subtract value from your life. Okay, a partner can contribute to you achieving your goals, versus somebody who detracts you from, derails you from your long-term goals. So these are really important things that you have to think about, and I feel like your love life for the past few months have not been looking too great, and the universe is trying to compensate. And I feel like you have to give dating a chance. You have to give it a chance. You have to give it a try. All right. For those of you who are in a relationship with an earth sign, and this is once again earth sign, and I'm seeing the Hierophant as well as the Ace of Pentacles. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, the relationship looks very good. And this person might be a little bit stubborn, but I feel like their heart's in the right place. They're like solid. They seem to me to be very solid, okay? Sun, moon, or rising. For those of you who might have been like in relationship with, or who are or have been in a relationship with a fire sign, I do sense some I feel like you both are like innately you're not compatible, but you have common goals, you have common ideologies, you want the same things, but you might approach things differently. But it can work, okay? So I feel that it can work and it can be really, really good for you. So fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And I know you're a fire sign too, but I feel like with this combat card and also the stability card, there is going to be uh, stability brought back into what was once a very troublesome situation. And I feel this is more for coupled people and married people. So some harmony brought back into a troublesome home environment. If you have been dealing with a water sign in the past, I feel there might be a water sign cycling back into your life. And I'm reading the Four of Cups as well as the Eight of Cups, which indicates to me, like a situation that it was like on, off, on, off. And once again, sun, moon, or rising, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It was an on again, off again type of situation. And you end up in a cyclical holding pattern. So extract yourself from this situation. I feel them coming back. If nothing has changed, then I feel like it's a recurring, a vicious cycle. But I do sense that you will know if they have changed. You will know if there has been an energy shift or an energetic shift within their lives, okay? So those are the options you have here. Earth signs look very, very good. For those who are coupled, I feel like a lot of stability coming back into your relationships, okay? So Leos, I wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. If you'd like a private reading, please visit my website. It's in the description box below.